have a group of young seekers for truth and goodness who have come to the Street of the Gods from what they have heard of the little good God, that they will come and join the congregation and contribute to the goodness of the world. And we have in their rescue from a mysteriously motivated and nasty set of big-ish rats, we have a group of rescuers. And a very odd experience that they seem to have had that didn't really seem normal to you guys. To Robert and Orc in particular, it did not seem very normal to have been driven out of a rescue situation. With, by a blast of evidently, induced emotion, completely uncharacteristic and clearly something caused you to feel this wave of fear. And especially I was killed by a bone devil in Mortal Kombat and I rose from the dead, except I didn't quite die. I was deadish. You're kind of like, those rats were not scary. Regardless, Orc in particular is going to be embraced and held tight and leaned upon and expressed gratefully to you of how happy they are that you have saved them from the terrible, terrible rats, which they seem to think induced the fear, but they were already terrified, so I guess you can kind of think that makes sense. On their parts.
What for me?
Alexian is the last to come out, looking like, well, all done. And I believe it was you who went back and took a look around, correct?
Yes.
Which you tend to do, I've noticed. Survived this horrible monster fight, comrades, wonderful, that's great. Hey, I'm gonna go look for something. Okay. Found an awesome weapon, Morningstar Mace, as well as, I believe, a shield to go with it. You're kind of like, now they do have decorations that go with whatever this old temple was. There are still some ragged things on the walls and some leftover, broken, or discarded, or too cheap for recovery items strewn around, just lying about, but they're old. So it's kind of hard to tell what sort of a temple this was. And they do not, I am sad to say, have little skulls and demon heads and, umlauts over the letters or anything like that. So therefore, it probably wasn't an evil temple, because we all know those things are evil. And that's not very fair. Lots of cool religions have skulls all over the place, now that I think about it. But anyway, you don't know much about that, but there is no indication of whatever the old temple was. But regardless, these weapons were there, and they were probably mixed up in a way that meant nobody found them until somebody searched more carefully, which you obviously did. I will also point out another thing. Although this is an old, abandoned, and, kind of messy, junky place, there are no signs of what you would think of as hundreds of oversized rats living here. There may be some indication of ordinary rodents in small numbers at most. But clearly, that horde of rats did not live here and therefore would have been reasonably disturbed by a bunch of neo-pagans coming in and camping there. But that clearly was not the case. You would have expected much, much more repulsive evidence of their living there. So they didn't. Alexian, are you putting on your most innocent face? Is that what I'm trying to get at here?
For when I just
Probably, yes.
Yes?
I just realized that I forgot I had to remove here.
Oh, well, I'm not quite sure how easy that is to cast right in the moment. I mean, actually, you would have had to. You failed your saving throw though.
Oh.
And so therefore you were busy unremoved. So, but just out of curiosity, because it's always good to check out a spell when one has it. There's no reason not to. Is that first all? Yes. Instills courage. Okay. Oh, raising the creature's saving throw against magical fear attacks by +4 for 1 turn. And you could have saved somebody who'd already failed the saving throw by casting it.
Oh.
But whether you would have the brains to do that on yourself when full of fear, I don't think that's. I think you would, by failing the saving throw, that means you were affected.
Yeah.
And that is right. That I think is where we stand. So if you had made the saving throw, you could have recovered Hork, for example.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. And yes, I believe that.
All innocent.
I believe that you were going to be seeking out a certain person to talk to. In fact,
Yes.
2 people.
Yes. Question is whom first? In general, I'm still trying to get an idea how to get out of the mess that I have created for myself.
You mean success, reputation?
Yes.
You know.
I didn't really count on becoming famous. It's disturbing my work, I'd say. So I guess Carnation is closer to home, and I tried to find her first.
Okay, so finding Carnation is a matter of sending out all these people who you are complaining about so much and having them look for her.
That's actually a nice idea to put that on somebody else. Yes, I think I'll do that, and then I'll take myself to a little bit more formidable parts of town to look for Mila. Because I would like to offer her my assistance, if she would like it.
Well, Mila Milaria is not that hard to locate, as she is the secretary of the Party of the Golden Fleet, and therefore is mainly it's mainly a matter of getting an appointment with her, and that's a matter of pay, And I also think, do you want to leave a message that you want her to come to you, or just a message that you're available, or do you actually want to see her, you know, in some official way?
I think I leave her a message.
Okay. There will be a bit in play when we will see the result of that message. So we know that.
And until all my little schemes are falling into place, I'm going to visit a couple of parks and wooded areas to see what they are like.
Okay. You are creeping that way.
Yep.
And this edge connects that way.
Okay.
That arrow. You can see that there's a waterway flowing in that direction. I'll give you the map in a sec, so you'll be able to walk over that waterway here and here. You have entered through here. And yes, we'll have to address this. And the goblins tell you that they're getting getting close to underneath Lormax's place at this time. They have not penetrated as far as this before.
Okay.
And are very concerned about potential difficulties.
Yeah. Is it pitch black down there, or
it's
light coming in? No.
Yeah.
So.
And so the goblins and you have similar vision.
Yeah.
So you're using very, very dim light to set just one or two small light sources, like little lanterns, that they're not shining all around, just enough to create a dim enough light for you to see by. So consider yourself to be coming in here.
Yep. We were definitely sneaking as much as possible and stopping regular listen for things.
That's a good idea. And so the key for listen, try hear noise. You're an assassin, yes you do. That's not very good.
No, 15. Nope, 21. Close. Those you are.
Okay, so you are creeping through, and it is all a question about whether now it's a question of surprise on both sides.
6.
5. Neither is surprised. So you are aware of splishes and splashes. Do you see where your path is going to take you, where you actually have to get wet?
No. Yeah. Yeah. Somewhere around here, I guess. Yep.
And so if you want to keep going to where the arrow exits that I drew, then you'll have to at least get through some of that water. So right as you are considering that, you are not surprised. So therefore, the blorp of something approaching through the water is coming. And just so you know, my roll also indicates that they were not surprised by you. So unfortunately, you don't have much chance at this time. However, you do have enough time, not being surprised, to prepare anything and to tell your goblins what to do.
Hiding shadows is probably out of the question since I have 10%.
90% correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll tell my goblins to be ready.
Okay.
We prepare our weapons.
Do you help repair a spell by any chance?
I don't think I have any. I haven't rested since.
Oh no.
No. This is assassin style.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might have. I'll see. But I think what I have is like maybe. Yeah, no. I can foul food and drink. So maybe not now.
Well, that's water. Water.
Are you sure?
Does it turn to poison or does it just make it unappetizing? Because
what's your wisdom?
It's 14, so I should probably know something about it.
You should say, well, goodness, if something's approaching through the water and is some sort of amphibious or aqueous creature, if I fouled this water, it would be very, very disturbing, uncomfortable, and perhaps harmful to them.
Then I do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was talking about just what the spell might do. So you're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like cubic feet or something. It's
that's what I'm looking up.
Yeah, I think I might need to target this.
Right. I mean, as to make it function, you might want to
compare it. To stick my hand into the water or something like that.
Yeah, and kind of be ready or to think about which cubic foot.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit more than that. Here we have first level and second level spells. And I think I have more than one of these summaries somewhere to share with others, but
Purify, reversible. 1 cubic foot per level.
That's 3 cubic feet.
And 1 inch square area. If we do by squares, I guess.
10 feet.
Yep. Well, then it's just poison mix.
Okay, how many segments to cast?
Ooh, where does it say? 1 round.
1 round. So you are preparing.
Yeah.
Right, as you.
So,
okay.
Then I might need to have the goblins take up a more like a blocking position, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's quite interesting. Okay. Roll initiative.
6.
4. On the plus side, spellcasting would have come first anyway.
Yeah.
Although, especially given the moment, it is a round long.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It might have to come at the end of the round.
Okay.
But yes. Okay. So there we go. What emerged from the water, coming up in wonderful emergence from the water fashion. You know, different places at different rates, right? So the coming up at different heights are big humanoid frog heads, which in some cases are followed by big humanoid frog shoulders, hands holding big humanoid frog knives, whatever that is. So, and threatening rivets. are beginning to emerge. They don't look, again, decent wisdom.
Yeah.
These are not animals.
No.
You can tell right away. These are right. But they're actually pretty organized.
Yeah,
they look like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that's a key thing, like that. You're not dealing with a random encounter of some kind. Clearly. I mean, a confused alligator would be one thing.
Blind
albino blind and huge alligator would be one thing. No, these guys are doing something.
Yeah.